Breaking down all the big games in college football with Steve Merrill, as we do here each and every week at the Voice of College Football. You can catch Steve's selections on Major League Baseball playoffs coming, the NFL, and of course college football at wagertalk.com. But we get Steve every Thursday or Friday to break down all the big college football games, including this week, the SEC and the Big 12 getting together with Arkansas and Oklahoma State. Arkansas appears to be one of the worst teams in the SEC, even though they won their first game over Pine Bluff 70-0. Oklahoma State supposed to be one of the contenders in the Big 12, and they're a solid 9.5-point favorite at home against the Hogs, Steve.
Yeah, hard to take too much away from Arkansas's win. I mean, it's still impressive to put up a lot of points, regardless of who you play. They were, by the way, a 50-point favorite, just to put it in perspective. So they were a 50-point favorite in the game. They've won 70-0. So yes, they overachieved a little bit. But we almost have to just scratch that game, and sure, don't let that get into the season-long stats, as it'll make Arkansas look like an offensive juggernaut for the next month. This is another reason why you have to filter out those stats when you're doing this kind of thing. And that's one thing I do when I do my 10,000 game simulation for every game on the board each week. And on average, I've got Oklahoma State winning this game by 17 points. So I don't know if last week's result has skewed this number a little bit, but it's about a touchdown low. And keep in mind that Oklahoma State last week had a very difficult opponent in South Dakota State. The 44-20 win over South Dakota State was much more impressive, I think, than a 70-0 win over Arkansas Pine Bluff. And that's because South Dakota State is the best team in FCS football, and they have been for several years. We all remember North Dakota State. They're pretty good still as well. But South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, have really been the cream of that league here in recent years. And Oklahoma State was only a 13-point home favorite last week. So that 24-point win's impressive. And I think there's line value as well with the Cowboys this week. I project a 17-point win. So I like Oklahoma State minus 10 and less. And by the way, shop around, because right now the line is 9.5 in some spots. It's 10 in others. Just shows the importance of having multiple sports books, because there's probably a 3 to 4% chance this game could land exactly on 10 points.
22-5, folks. What am I talking about? What does that mean? Well, that's Steve's record in his under-the-radar selections. You can catch those exclusively here at the Voice of College Football as a premium member on Patreon and YouTube. College football is even more exciting with some action on the line. And the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Let's start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread. I've got a 40-year track record. In fact, in 2023, at $100 played per game, you would have netted over $9,300. And guess what? I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill, our ace in the hole, show stopper from Wager Talk. 6 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick, which went 21-5 against the spread the last 2 seasons. I repeat, 21-5 against the spread. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Steve Dace and Matt Zemek. Become a YouTube channel member or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2024 a winner now.